Hi friends, now we will do some hands-on, or I would say thoroughly understanding of pandas. So let's get start. As one of our last video we have seen that how we can work with pandas, but now I'm here with more example to make it more easier. So again we import numpy as np and pandas and pd, right? So what basically panda is, as I have discussed on it, that whenever we want to work with our excel sheet data, or we can say a data in tabular form, that then we can use pandas, right? So let's see some example. Here what we are doing is we are defining a list, right? And we are converting that list into an np.array, right, which is nothing but an numpy array. Now till here we have done lots of study, but let's start from here. Now what we are doing is we are trying to convert that np array into a series. Series is nothing but pandas, right? Whenever we talk about it, we want to convert it in a tabular form. Okay, so here in this way we import pd as panda, and we use the function series, right? Inside that function we pass a array list. Now what I'm doing is we can also change the index of our series, like by defining them separately. So here I am using this list inside my series, and I'm telling that okay, whatever data I have, just use new index as these one, okay, and it will replace our original index. Okay, we can also perform some mathematical operation with our series data itself. How we can do that? Let's say I want to add some new value, subtract some new value, and any other mathematical operation. So I'll just pass the list name, and I will say just add some value. Okay, so here it will add 2.5 with each and every single cell. Okay, now what again, we defining a list, all right, and we are converting that list into a series, and we are saying that okay, this time also change the index of this series, right? So here what I'm doing is we are just getting a new price list, okay, by let's say this is an example. All right, you can read all these lines to get a better understanding. And what if I want to get the difference between both two lists, or I would say both two series? So I am simply doing that difference operator, right, which will give me the difference between two values, and the index remains same. Now let's start working with the data frame, which is more inclined toward two-dimensional tabular data forms. So now we have defining a student here. We have some student, and I'm telling that okay, just store this data frame into a separate variable, that is df1. So I'm accessing pandas pd to data frame, and telling that okay, store these student, and the column name should be student. Okay, as I have only one list, so all the list data will be appear inside that column. Now what I'm doing is we are also passing grades of those students. So we have defined some other variable, and telling that okay, student take as student we have our, right, and grade as these grades. Okay, so it will get the student from this df1, and I mean, this will get the student from this student variable, and grades from this grades variable, and combine them to make a data frame. Okay, we can also create panda data frames using the series. So we just define series again, and inside that series we are passing list. Okay, as we did above, similarly we are doing that, but in a different way. So by accessing series, it is taking the value from here. Okay, now at the final df3, the final variable, or we can say the final data frame we have is year, which is containing years, then energy consumption, which is nothing but the column name, right? And this is nothing but the value, or we can say key value pairs are here as a dictionary format. Now let's start with some random values. So here we can also start passing some random, that is random. Okay, so it will create two columns, that is trial 1 and trial 2, with random values, right? So as the random name itself suggests that it will generate some random value, but here as we are defining random, so here it will give us the mean value as well as the variance, like mean would be equals to 0 and variance would be 1. Okay, so now how we can access pandas and modify them. So to access series, let's talk about it first. We are defining a list, and again we have some other value in another list. Now we are combining them into a series, so we just doing pd dot series and operator with revenue, right, and printing that series. Now if I want to access the index 0, so what I'll do is as this is the column name, all right, and revenue is my actual value, so I want telecom of 0. So telecom of 0 will return me the 0th position value. Okay, now here what is doing it is telling that okay, just give me first 3 element of the series. So now it is talking about element, not a single cell, right? So it will return 3 elements that are inside that series. Again what it is telling that okay, just give me last 2 element of a series. So the -1 indicates that I want value from last, all right, and from last which value, last 2 elements I want. So it will give the last 2 element of the series. We can also access multiple elements of a series by just passing their values in comma separated, like 0th, 2nd and 3rd position. Okay, now we are also accessing them by giving their label name, like what is the value at 80 and t. Okay, so this is my key value pairs again. So the value is written by this revenue. Now here again it is telling that okay, just give me first 3 revenues of that operator in this series. So first 3 revenue, that means I want value from 0th to T-Mobile US. Okay, so this is my ending index, so it will give me all the value previous than this value, right? Again we can also access them by label, like I want to access more than one value, so I just simply give the label name as they are. Okay, but now what if we want to access data in the data frame? Okay, so let's create a data frame first. We have a data frame here, the customer id which contains these value, location contains these value, gender, type, quantity. Okay, so these are nothing but we are defining inside a dictionary, right? Here we have a list, okay, in the value pair, because we have more than one value. So in this way this will make a complete data frame. Okay, now what if I want to access the first row of the data frame? So blank before the colon is nothing but that assume that okay, I want to value from 0th, right, and it is ending, so 0th from 1. Okay, so there is only one value, so it will give me 0th value. Now to access first column of the data frame, I just simply write the column name, that is location, so it will return all the value inside that column. Okay, but okay, now what I want is I want to rows with the step of 2, okay, like 0 2 4 6, like that. If I have more data, then it will definitely return the data in this form. So what I'll do is I'll tell that okay, start from 0 end to n, and the step should be of 2. So it will start from 0, ending row of the cell, ending row of the data frame, and there will be a step of 2. Okay, now what if we want to access data in a reverse form? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll again tell that okay, start from 0 end to n, and this time it will be in reverse format, so it will give the data in the reverse format. Now let's move forward with the log and ILOG function, which is mainly important for slicing, or we can say accessing data in a faster format. Okay, so always remember that first thing, our index start from 0. Okay, this is a thumb rule in Python, or we can say mostly all other language also, support the same thing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm telling that okay, just give me data of location 1. So at the location 1, whatever data it is, that is first column is customer name is this, customer location is this, gender is this, so it will give me only first column data. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm telling that okay, just give me a log, I mean data of first and fourth row, and the data I need is only location and type. Just tell me first and fourth index value, and the value which is the location and which is the type. Okay, so now let's take example with ILOG. So what ILOG will do is ILOG will get the a particular cell. Okay, here we pass like a row and column. All right, so it will return me row first and 4, and the column is 0 and 2. So first and 4, 0 and 2 column will be accessed. Now yeah, what is the difference between that log and ilog indexing method? As log is our label based, okay, which means that you have to specify row and column based on their labels. Okay, but ilog is more inclined towards indexing, we are just accessing their index. Now let's try with one thing, that if I want to access selected row and column using ilog, so as ilog will not work in such case because it is working with indexing. So now here what we are doing is we are passing it with the ilog. Okay, so the ILOG will definitely return me the error, that is ILOG require numeric index. Okay, so as these are our labels, so it won't return any data as expected. Now what if we want to modify data entries? Yes, of course we can do that. Let's say at the 4 row, and the type is beauty. Okay, and I want to update this value with electronic. So let's jump into the 4, and the type is, there would be beauty initially, and now the value converted as electronic. Okay, now again I want to update the value with beauty, so it will give me the beauty back. Okay, we can also do condition based indexing. So we are telling that okay, if the index value is greater than 1, okay, I mean the quantity that is greater than 1, so it will return true, else it will return false. So here it will give me false, true, 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 false, likewise. Okay, now what we are doing is we are telling that okay, just access this value log I'm using here, and the data is our store data, and I'm telling that if the quantity is greater than 1, then only return the value. So yeah, the quantity is if greater than 1, then it will return the data frames value. Okay, so this was my actual value. We can also add new column with our data frame. What we can do is we'll have to tell that okay, I want a new column as rating, and the value will be as 2 for first customer, second customer, third customer, so on so forth. I will give the value of all the customers. So in this way this will add the value with the new column. We can also remove a column from the data frame, but the thing is, if we want to remove it permanently, what we do is we just pass access1. Access1 is nothing but it is based on column, so it will remove the customer ID. Okay, here the data did not delete permanently, just because we have to pass the in place is true. So if it is theirs, then only it will delete the data permanently. Okay, otherwise it will delete the data temporary. So if we want to store this data in a new variable, it will definitely work with that variable, because that variable will contain the value without the customer ID. Okay, so in place is worked here. Now that column is removed permanently. Okay, let's start with remains column. Okay, what we are doing is we can also use copy function. Copy will just copy the original data with a new variable. Okay, then we can work with that new data frame or that new variable. So again, what I'm doing is I'm trying to drop that will delete a location and rating. Okay, and the access is 1, that means it will delete the column simultaneously, and the in place is true, that means the data is permanently deleted from this data frame. But yeah, as we made a copy here, so if we run the our original store data, we'll definitely get the rating and location here. Okay, now what if we want to remove rows from a data frame? That was just for column. So simply for deleting rows, we pass the ID of that row. Okay, I want to delete first row and the access is 0. If the access is 0, that will delete the row, but not again permanently. To delete it permanently, we'll have to pass the in place true. Okay, so to notice that we used x equals to 0 to drop a row from data frame, while we were using access1 to delete the data frame, and also to make permanent delete we will pass the in place true here. Okay, so again here what we are doing is we are dropping first row. Okay, and telling that store this with new data, so it will get stored in new data. But here you can see that our indexing got changed. Like initially it was it should be 0 1 2 3, it is not there. So for that we can use reset index. Okay, so it will reset our index, right? But this time what is happening, I have nearly 2 indexes, right? So to do that we can set these as reset index. Okay, drop true and in place true, so then it will reset the index, drop the old index, right? And this will delete it permanently. So we can also combine the data frames by concatenating them by using joins, like we used in SQL and other data structures where we can manage our data, right? And third thing is merge. Okay, so let's define two data frame first, again with key value pairs, and this is my actual data frame. Okay, and this is the first one, this is the second one. Now I want to concatenate both the data. So what it will do is it will add this data frame with this data frame. Okay, so here we have customer ID category first visit sale, so customer ID category first visit sale is there also, and here you can see that we have customer ID here also, here also. Okay, and the value is same. So whenever we use concatenate, so it will automatically identify the primary column and it will concatenate them with the base of it. So there will be one customer ID now, and if there are different values, so it will create separate rows with them. But let's say we have one not two, which is here but not here, right? So why it is so? Because we have 102 medium no 52 here, and here we did not have 102. So here we did with access 0, like we wanted to concatenate based on the rows only. But now what if I want to add all the data frame as it is with in this portion? Okay, so what it will do is it will just based on the column, so it will be like xs1 and the value that will be here. Okay, so it will have none, because if we add this to here, okay, see the customer id, and we will see that first four value are for first data frame, second four value are for second data frame. Here first four value that is containing first data frame, if we add another data frame, so here it will be none. And for second data frame, if we are adding this here, so it will have none as first data frames entry. Okay, now let's see with the merge how merge works. So for merge we defined only one thing, that is how. Okay, we have seen that in SQL we majorly use inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join, okay, and self join, like that. Here as well as the concept is same. Okay, now the only thing we pass in the how parameter. So I'm merging first data frame with second data frame, how the behavior is outer join, and the condition that is on the customer id. So there will be an outer join on the basis of customer id. So what outer join will do, it will fill all the value that are matching with this customer id. Okay, now we have inner join. So inner join will contain the value only if the condition is met. Okay, if I have 101, 103 and 104 with both the column, then only it gave me the data. Okay, and 102 is not with both the data frames, so it couldn't provide me the data. We can also use right join. Okay, so what right join will do is it will return all the value from right table, that is data cust, and it will return the matched value, only the matched value from the data cust. Okay, so in this way we provide the key, that on which key we have to check the condition. Now let's see what is next. We are defining one new data frame, okay, q1 q2, also with index. Again another data frame, that is q3 q4 with data frame with index, and we want to join. Okay, and this time what we are doing is we just saying that okay, just join these two data frame. Okay, first one is this join and second one is this, and the behavior of that join will be right. Okay, so with the right join, what it will do is again we have join, so it will check that okay, I do not have any unique column here. Okay, so in such case what I'm doing is I'm trying to tell that just join it, so it will add this table or this data frame after this data frame with all the values. Okay, so here you can see 101 is there with the I0, I2, I3, I0, I2, I3. So here I do not have I3, here I do not have I1. So it will combine data frames based on the index level, right? So we can also use outer, inner, left join, right join. Okay, so they all can work with join as they worked with merge. Now we can also save and load our data frame. Okay, so here for testing what I did is I wanted to use my collab, right? So what we can do is we can import our drive. Okay, and we can say that just give me the permission of this drive. So what we do is we pass the from Google Colab, and we say that okay, just import the drive, and we give the permission to access that drive. Okay, now let's say in our drive there is a folder that is containing this value, this CSV file. So we can access this file by passing that into read CSV, as normally we read CSV as this value. But what if I want to access in this way? So I will access it from here, right? So let's say I have I don't want to use Google Colab, and I want to access this file from my local machine. So first thing what I'll do is I will import pandas as pd. Okay, and I'll tell that okay, I want to access this file, right, which I have in my local machine. So it will run this, and to get this file we got it from here. So this is the file. I will also share with you in the description box. Now what if I want to access some Excel file? This was the CSV file that I accessed. Now if I want to access any Excel file, right, so what I'll do is I'll simply tell that okay, access my Excel file from this path, right, and return me the first 5 row of that Excel sheet. So again, as the naming convention, I have two files in my local machine, and it has returned me both the file. So in this way we can access this file. Okay, and we can also save the new file. Like what I'm doing is we use data dot to save, and again the path that I want to save the new file. Okay, and it will save that data. Okay, so this will save the file in my this path. Now what we are doing is this was the CSV that we were trying to save, and this is the Excel that we want to save. So to save CSV we'll do this, to save Excel we'll do this. Again by using head, what we get is we access the first 5 rows of the data set. Okay, and by using tail we get the last 5 row of the data set. We can also use the shape will return me the number of rows and number of column of the data set, and info will return the information like the price column is numeric in nature, or which column is float in nature. Okay, and which column is in object type. We can also use min function. Min will return the minimum value in this price column. Okay, to max function, which will return the maximum value in this price function, price variable. And if we use the unique function, so unique will return the number of unique value inside this stock column. Okay, the value counts will return the number of values that each unique quantity has inside that column, which is stock. And if we use value count normalize equals to true, so using this normalize parameter, it will initialize that the value relative to frequency are unique. Okay, so the value count inside this we are defining normalize equals to true, which will return the relative frequency of the unique values inside this stock column. So we also have some statistical function here. Mean again will return the price. Mean will again return the mean of this price column. Okay, median will return median of that column. We can use mode. Okay, and what we can do is interesting thing, that is if we want to access the first mode, so I'm saying that 0. Okay, so it will return me the first mode of the value, because the data set has more than one mode. Okay, so we can access that by indexing. We are using here group by function, which will group the stock and price based on the mean value. Okay, and then return the data accordingly. Now what if we want to group by the value based on the median? Okay, so we can either do that, right? We can also use a function here. I mean, what I'm doing is to direct perform operation inside that data frame. What I'm doing is I'm telling that okay, just give me s, and I will return s plus s multiplied by 0.1. Okay, so what it will do is it will increase the price of this value by 10%. Okay, so let's say what I'm doing is here I'm simply telling that okay, the data price, and we have to apply that profit. Okay, so apply is the function that lets you to manipulate column and rows inside that data frame. Okay, and the profit that I'm getting here is the 10%, so it will directly apply with the data frame. Now we can also add this updated values inside that data set. So what we'll do is we'll say that okay, just create a new price column and add the 10% of that price inside this new price, so it will add in this way. Now we can also use sort values. So sort values function will sort the data frame in ascending or descending order, whatever we want. So what I'm doing is I'm telling that sort the values in the data frame by new price. So sort the value by this column, and the sorting value would be in descending order, because if ascending is false, that means this is in descending order. So by default it is in ascending order, that is true, and it is up to us whether we want to specify that or not. We can also work with datetime function. How? Let's say we have the CSV file, we got it from here. Okay, and again this is the CSV file that I have in my local machine. I want to read the first 5 column, and then I'm telling that just give me the info, which will return the number of columns and their values, whether they are object, float and all. Okay, now I'm telling that okay, just give me the date. Okay, is here any date column? Yes, it is here. So what I'm doing is I'm telling that just give me the date. Okay, and the day first should be true. So I'm telling that just give me the date and convert the date into date time format. So if there is any date inside that Excel sheet or CSV file, so it will return that date into the real time date. Okay, so here you can see the data type of that has become the date time, which is this date, and initially it was the object. Okay, so in this way we can perform such tasks. Now what we can do is now it has become a real-time date time, and we can also specify the format, right? So let's say what it will do is it will change the format in this manner, that is the different format. We can also use a different format such that okay, so likewise, and we can also get the year of this date. Okay, if we want to get only year, right, we can also store this year that we got to a separate year column. We can also get the month in a separate date. Okay, this will print me the month, and we are storing this with a new column, that is month, right? To get the day, we got it from here. To store the day in the different column, we got it. Now let's run this. Year is this, month is this, and day is this. So this way we'll separate the value from the date. Okay, last but not the least is what we can do is we can also format the it for many tasks, like if I want this time delta. Okay, so 3 days in this way. So we just want to perform operations like just subtract this date from this day. We can also do that because we can add or subtract values inside days.